Mauritius Island, the star and key to the Indian Ocean, first appeared on Portuguese navigational maps between 1507 and 1511 as Swan Island. In 1598, the Dutch, who were anxious to establish a port in the Indian Ocean to serve as landfall for their ships traveling to the Spice Islands, were forced, quite by accident, to drop anchor here. They succeeded where the Portuguese had failed in establishing a trading post and thriving supply port. The island was baptized Mauritius. In only a few short years, however, after numerous difficulties, the Dutch abandoned the island in favor of a port on the South African Cape. The French wasted little time in replacing the Dutch presence, and in 1715, Mauritius, now known as Île-de-France, underwent rapid development. The British would take over in 1810 and retain this colony until granting the island its independence in 1968. With its breathtaking volcanic topography, Mauritius joins Réunion Island and Rodrigues Island to make up the Mascarene archipelago. Port-Louis is the island's enchanting capital, whose surprising contrasts mark a city in full evolution. On one side of the street are steel and glass skyscrapers. On the other side, colonial houses with their lovely facades and hand-carved overhangs. Port-Louis is also the island's only port, boasting 600 meters of dockside, which vibrates with activity. Bougainville de La Pérouse boats dropped anchor in these waters, and Surcouf became his base. In the middle of all this activity lie shops, food stands, and hardware stores, the center of a busy population who lives and works surrounded by the fragrance of tropical fruits and Indian spices. It's also one of the regions in the world with the densest population. Throughout the centuries of colonization by different countries, the pearl of the Indian Ocean was able to, little by little, forge its own identity. Today, it's a location where exists an amazing harmony among people of many ethnic origins and religions. On its 1,900 square kilometers of land, Indians, Chinese, Creole, Muslims, French, and English have, over the years, created several distinct communities. Coming from 3 continents, Europe, Asia, and Africa, the thousands of people who today make up the Mauritian population offer the rest of the world a not often encountered example of tolerance and harmony. The marketplace in Port-Louis is a colorful meeting place for the local population, a place which holds numerous delights for the eyes as well as the nose. It can literally be seen as the soul of the island. Everything grows on Mauritius: fruits, vegetables, and rare tropical plants. The local currency is the rupee, and although English is spoken, one can also hear French, and more often, Mauritian Creole. The mixture of languages reminds the visitor of the island's not-so-distant colonial history. It was a morning in September of 1715 that the captain of the ship Chasseur first erected the flag bearing the French fleur-de-lis, and thereby took possession of the island in the name of His Majesty King Louis XIV. Mauritius became Île-de-France and was joined with its neighbor, Île Bourbon, the present-day Réunion Island, under French rule. For nearly a century, Mauritius Island would undergo amazing development, thanks in large part to its governor, Mahed La Bourdonnais, who would make Port-Louis one of the busiest ports in the Indian Ocean. It became a regular stopover for ships of the French Indian Company.